Lan, wake up! If you don't get up, you'll be late for school. PET Net News, World 3 crime on the rise. It says the World 3 plan to control the net might be starting. Sleep. You've got mail from Dad, too. Look. Sorry I couldn't get off work Sunday. I'll be home soon. Here's a present for you, it says. There's some battle chip data attached. I was just having a great dream, too. I'll expand the chip data, so check your PET later, okay? Hey everyone, and welcome to Mega Man Battle Network. Set in a world where the entire world is covered in internet technology. Every device is connected to every other device. People have wireless phones which can connect to the web, read your email, read textbooks, listen to music, do whatever you want. Even our random devices, like our appliances, are connected to the internet. It is a veritable Internet of Things. For a game made in 2001, this game is surprisingly prescient. There's really no way to say it beyond this game is surprisingly accurate in a lot of the things it predicted about how the world would be. Taking place in 2000X, so within the decade it came out, it at the very least accurately predicted the existence of smartphones by the end of the decade. Speaking of which, our main character here, Lan Hikari, a 9-year-old elementary schooler, has his own smartphone called a PET. Press start to see chip data and read mail. Lan got an AI navigation program, megaman.exe. Lan, good morning. Morning, Mega Man. If you need to talk to me, just push the L button. Okay, let's get to school. Lan, check your mail again. Alright, so, on our PET, we have an assistant AI navigation program, or NetNavi, known as Mega Man. NetNavis are on every single PET, and they are the primary way that people interact with the internet. Their navigation program, their smart helper, their smart assistant, like many people have on their smartphones nowadays, though not quite to the same level, will hop onto the internet, which is presented in a virtual reality format, and they will navigate it themselves on foot. It's very, very cool. But first off, we need to check our email. First off, the net news on World 3 crime on the rise. World 3's plan to control the net might be starting. And the message from Dad. Sorry I couldn't get off work Sunday, I'll be home soon. Here's a present for you, use it well. And we got a chip for Crossgun C. What exactly these chips are, they've been mentioned a couple times already, we'll be getting into in due time. But we can access basically everything we could ever want to from our PET. Alright, let's go ahead and get to school now. First off, hey Mom, sorry I am up late, I am on my way out. Good morning, Lan. Morning, Mom. Breakfast is on the table, you have time to eat? Of course, you should always make time for a good, healthy breakfast. Lan eats a hurried breakfast. Yum. Lan found a chip under the plate. Lan got a chip for Recov 10A. Another one of those chips. Again, we'll be getting into what exactly those are about in due time. Lan, you're late. Uh-oh. Mail looks grumpy. No one asked you to wait for me. Did you just say something? Come on, let's go. Why do we always have to walk to school together? Silly, because we've always got so much to talk about. Which means she's got a lot to talk about. You just listen. Quiet. Have you heard about the oven accidents? People's ovens have been spitting fire all of a sudden. I bet it's another World 3 virus on the loose. You're just imagining things. Maybe. Well, here we are. Let's get to class. And good news! We made it to class with plenty of time to spare. The teacher isn't even here yet. We may have overslept, but it didn't screw us over today. Alright, before class begins, let's go ahead and speak to everyone, see how they're all doing today. Morning, Lan. Dex was looking for you. He's too big to be in elementary school, you know? Scary. Alright, so the local bully is looking for us. Good to know. You wish to ask moi, Madame Yai herself, about PET? Sure, tell me all about it. Curiosity is a virtue. Okay, listen up good. PET is short for Personal Terminal. It's a portable link to the net, see? Kinda like a cell phone that does a whole lot more. You can send mail, use electronic money, and read textbooks. The Navi program inside helps if you have a problem. You have one on your PET too, wasn't it called Mega Man? As I said before, the PET is effectively just a smartphone, but in 2001. And I was like, for real? Whoa, no way! You two have fun. Alright, Dex is over there, so let's avoid him for now. How are you doing? Man, yesterday our home oven started spitting fire. Oh no! I mean, clearly you are without injury, but like, is everything okay? Is your house okay? Is your family okay? Jeez! Lan, you heard about the World 3's plan to control the net, yeah? I did this morning. It was on the news. Talk about scary. I mean, what are we supposed to do? Alright, well, no one left to talk to but Dex. Hey Dex, what do you want? I've been waiting for you, Lan. I challenge you to a net battle. Your wimpy Mega Man against my GutsMan. I heard that. Net battling isn't allowed, you know. Ah, stuff it. You sure got a big mouth for such a shrimp. We're not bothering anyone, are we, Lan? Well, I guess. Shrimp? That's no way to talk to a lady. Aw, man, class is starting. After class, Lan, be there. Let's begin class, shall we? First period is a virus busting. Who's read net news? I did. It said World 3 net crime is on the rise. Very good, and extra marks for checking your net news. Of course, you should know too, Lan. It's important that we all know how to fight viruses. Huh, I'd like to see a World 3 virus take on me and GutsMan. Dex and his silly little GutsMan. What'd you say? Relax, why would the World 3 bother with you anyway, Dex? Why, you Lan! Quiet in the class. Today we'll be using the common virus called a Met tool. Jack in your PET so your net Navi can access the net. Lan, she said to jack in. Press the R button. Yeah. It looks like everyone's Navi is online. Okay, I'm releasing the Met tool data now. Everyone ready? And the tutorial on combat for this game begins. This game's combat would be probably best described as a deck-building, turn-based action strategy game? It is an interesting combat system, and I love it a lot. Okay, let's have a demonstration on how to delete viruses. When fighting, you must first send chip data to your Navi. You choose the chips to send in this window. Chip icons are shown at the bottom of the setup window. From here, you choose which chips you want to send to the Navi. This shows the chip data you have selected. It shows the attack rating. This is the virus's hit points, HP. It shows how tough this virus is. You can normally only send one chip at a time, but you can send multiple copies of the same chip, such as 2 or 3 cannons. This will let you use more weapons and fight much better. Okay, now we'll choose which chip data to send to the Navi. Select with the A button, press the R button to see an explanation of a chip. Alright, well, first off, we have 2 Met tools. They have 40 health each, and the cannon chip, which we have 2 of, does 40 damage. I think I know what I want to pick. You chose a cannon, I see. That means you can choose 1 more cannon. Okay, let's send this data to your Navi. Choose OK. We've sent the data, now it's time to fight the virus. Now, I'll explain how to fight as we actually do so. You can move your Navi up, down, left, and right. You shoot with the B button, it's weak but fast. Your HP are shown at the top left. If you go down to 0 HP, your Navi is deleted, so be careful. Above your Navi's head is the chip data you sent. You can only use it once, so be careful. And that's the basic battle technique. Easy, right? Miss Mari, what do you do if you've used your chips and the virus still isn't dead? That's a good question. Everyone look here. This is your battle gauge. It slowly fills as you fight. When it's full, press the L or R button. You can then go to the battle setup screen and choose new chips to send. Okay, let's try it. Good luck. Alright, the Met tools are going to come into place one at a time trying to attack us, but our cannons will make short work of them. Good job, let's go on to the next lesson. Okay, now I'll tell you about support chips. Not all chips are weapons. For example, a steel chip will increase the area that your Navi is able to move around in. Since you need to get close for a sword, this would be a wise strategy. Miss Mari, I thought that we can only choose chip copies. Another good question. Look here, please. Do you see the letter? That's this chip's code. You can choose a different type of chip if it has the same code type. Please notice that Steel and Wide Sword have the same code. They're both S. You can choose two chips at the same time now. They are shown here in the order that you chose them. This will help you plan your strategy. Okay, let's try that. Choose Steel and Wide Sword in order. That is important, in order. The order that you select your chips from this menu is the order you are able to use them in battle. So get it right or you will have trouble. Okay, next choose the Wide Sword. Okay, let's send this data to the Navi. Choose OK. Let's do it. We've sent the data to the Navi. Now, it's time to try out our strategy. Okay, let's review that strategy. First, you'll use the A button to use Steel. Then, the virus's area will shrink right, and you'll have more room to move around. Move into the area that you took and use the sword. This is a powerful strategy. However, be careful of the virus's attack when close. Good luck, everyone. Alright, let's go ahead and use Steel. We'll take their leftmost column, then we can use Wide Sword to wipe out two at a time. Alright, Metul, we will go ahead and pick you down with our Buster Gun, and let's send some data to the Navi again. Try it yourself this time. Alright, since we only have one left, we have a lot more flexibility in how we can actually choose to go about this. We could do Steel and Wide Sword again, but since we only have one enemy left, let's go with a cannon. Good job, let's go on to the next lesson. For our final lesson, we'll talk about chip adding. By using chip adding, you can increase the number of chips that you can use to make your combinations for improved strategies. Look at the screen. See the add button at the bottom right? If you select this button without choosing any chips, you'll have to fight for one turn without chips, but on your next turn you'll be able to select from 10. Do this twice and you'll have 15 chips to choose from. This should surely give you all the strategies you need. Okay, a pop quiz. For this test, you will need to use all the techniques I've just taught you and delete a virus. Good luck. Alright, to start out, we do not have a very good combination of chips. We could use a cannon to get rid of one of these, or a sword to get rid of one of them, or really any of these to get rid of one virus, but we can only get rid of one at most. So let's select Add, hang on for one turn, and then we can send in better chips afterwards. Now, something you will quickly notice as we are fighting with our Buster Gun is the closer you are to a virus, the faster you can actually fire your Buster Gun. The reason for this, I believe, is because the Buster shots have a travel time. They have a slight travel time that it takes before they are actually able to reach the target, and you can only have one Buster shot at a time. So you have to wait until the virus is hit before you can fire your next shots. There will be able to be ways to upgrade this so we can fire more shots at once and fire a lot faster. But for now, the closer you are to a virus, the faster you can fire. Alright, we have 3 cross guns. They're not going to kill a Met Tool from full health, but we can at least weaken it enough that our Buster Gun will finish off the rest. Good job, that's all for today's class. Phew! Wow, today just flew by, huh? Let's go home. Okay. Well, before we go home, Lan and Mega Man, Dex challenged us to a net battle, and I'm not gonna let this bully just do whatever he wants. He needs his ego to be put in check. Well, you got saved by the bell, but now it's time to fight. My GutsMan rocks. I've got the latest version yesterday. Let's do it. Yeah, let's. That's the spirit. Don't be a crybaby if you lose here. GutsMan is our first boss, a completely optional boss. You do not have to fight him, but I would recommend it. It's good practice. We got really lucky. We got 4 cannons off the bat. I think that's every cannon we have, I want to say. GutsMan is fairly slow moving and has a few basic attacks. The main one is he will send out a shockwave which will travel down the row to try and hit us. Second, he has the ability to crack an entire row of panels, and if we step on them, well, they will break after we step off. And his final main ability is if we are right up in that front column, he will try and punch us in the face like he did earlier, and it can be rather annoying. He may be slow, but he still manages to dodge your attacks sometimes, and man, that can get frustrating. You just got lucky. Today doesn't count, okay? Sure, I kicked your ass. Yes, I got hit a few times, but shut up. Okay, and with that, I believe all we have left for today is to talk a little bit about chip folders and folder building. So we've gotten to start with our tutorial battles, and we fought a little bit of an optional mini-boss, which didn't really give us any rewards, sadly, but hey, it's good practice. So let's talk about what it actually means to build a chip folder, because we have so much customization we can do here. Our chip folder can have exactly 30 chips at a time. No more, no less. These 30 chips are the chips we bring into battle. They are selected from randomly as we enter battle and as we go into our chip select window, so you cannot be guaranteed, like, say I put all my 4 cannons up at the top and then a shotgun, how it is now. That does not mean that we're going to, on our first turn, have 4 cannons and then a shotgun. It's not in order like that. It is shuffled and randomized every time you enter the battle. We also have our sack with any extra chips that are not currently in our folder. We can go ahead and select from these to customize what we have in our folder and make an ever more effective folder setup. Right now, we have quite a variety. We've got cannon, we've got shotgun, we've got crossgun, we've got mini bomb, we've got sword, we've got wide sword, X panel 1, and Recuv 10. As I've said all those names, there should have been information going across the screen about exactly how they function, not just the basic descriptions that the game gives, but also things like attack ranges and stuff like that. We will be aiming to collect at least one of every type of ship in the game, and there are a lot. And as we go, we'll be introducing every chip's mechanics, how they work, and just what makes them tick. Oh, I believe I forgot to scroll down all the way and show off we also have Steal and Escape. If I forgot to do that, my bad. If I didn't forget to do it, well, you gotta see those chips twice. They're support chips anyway, so. Moving over to our sack, we already have Recov 10s. We have plenty of Recov 10s, in fact. But we also have a Crossgun C, a new chip. I believe we got that one from our dad's email at the start when we woke up. Crossgun is a pretty good chip for specific situations, so it's good at least to have on hand. We already have Crossguns in our folder. So I think we'll go ahead and use the Crossgun C to replace a Crossgun J. And the reason for that is chip codes. As Miss Mari said in the tutorials, you can only select chips if they are the same type of chip or they are the same code of chip. As such, if you have a lot of different codes in your folder, you're going to find it hard to pick a lot of chips at once. You're going to find it really hard to make combinations. That's not good. You want to be able to have a lot of flexibility in what chips you pick on each turn. So from the start, I'm going to highly recommend you have as few chip codes in your folder as possible. Ideally, you'll have no more than 4 different codes as an upper limit, and ideally, you'll have 2 or 3. I don't necessarily recommend for going for a single code in your folder. That's a lot harder to do, and also greatly limits the amount of flexibility you can have in your folder. Different chips have different codes that are available to them. Cannons can be A, B, C, and I believe D or E. Shotguns have an N code. They don't match with the cannon's code. So if you're going for a single code folder, you can't have a cannon and a shotgun. So a couple of codes is a good idea, because it allows you to have a more wide variety of chips and adapt to more situations. But at the same time, fewer codes lets you have more flexible strategies and pick more chips at a time. So my general recommendation is try for no more than 4 codes. Aim for 2 or 3 codes in your folder. Right now we have a whole wide spread of codes. We have like 7 different codes in our folder, which is not great. We do not want to have that many codes. That's really bad. But we don't have a lot of choice right now because you may notice we are at the start of the game and don't have a lot of chips. I'm going to go ahead and toss out the Escape F. F is an odd code, and I don't really use Escape. It's just the runaway chip, and I try not to run away from fights because they give good rewards. It is good to have on hand if you're not confident in your abilities or you want an emergency tactic, but I generally never use it, so it's a waste of a chip slot for me personally. That's not to say I will never die. I'm not exactly the best at this game. It's actually been a long time since I played Battle Network. But I have enough confidence in my abilities that I think I won't need it. And if I die, then I die, and it'll be funny for everyone. Except for me. It'll suck a lot. So yeah, replacing that Escape F with a Recov 10A reduces the number of codes by 1, and gives us a little bit more recovery and a little bit more focus on the A code, which is an easy code to get a lot of early in the game. We'll be doing a lot more adaptation of our folder in time as we get a lot more chips. And we're going to be getting a lot of chips indeed. So yeah, as we go and get more chips, we'll be able to make a perfectly customized folder which can do whatever we want, basically. But for now, we're limited. Another thing worth looking at, in addition to our chip folder where we can customize what chips we have available, we have the chip library, which basically just shows all of the chips we have ever collected, sorted by their ID number. Each chip type has a specific unique ID number, identifying which chip it is, and there are 175 chips in the game. We're going to try to collect at least one of every single chip to fill out our library entirely. this is going to be fun. We're going for completion. But then did you expect anything else from me? And then down here we have Mega Man. Here we can check on Mega Man's status, his maximum HP, his stats for his Buster Gun, for example his attack, his rapid, and his charge. In the top right is his level, which is roughly how strong Mega Man is overall. Good way to check on how Mega Man's doing. We've got our email, of course. We have items, which is all of the items we'll be collecting. And then network. Network is unfortunately unusable for me, because I am playing this on the Wii U Virtual Console. Thankfully, while in the original Game Boy Advance releases, there were some things which could only be unlocked through doing multiplayer combat through network, which is really fun, the multiplayer. Playing against another person in a net battle. Thankfully, the developers had the kindness to, when they released the games on the Wii U Virtual Console, the network option no longer works because you can't connect with other players, but it does give you any exclusive rewards for playing multiplayer. So if there's something like a battle chip you can only get by playing multiplayer, selecting network will just automatically give it to you. I don't recall if there's any rewards like that in Battle Network 1, but there are definitely rewards like that from Battle Network 3 onwards. We'll be getting to that later on. This will typically give you really endgame chips if there are things to be had, so I will wait until we have officially beaten the final boss to use network to get those rewards. Alright, well, that was a lot of explaining, and I'm sorry about that. It was a little bit of an info dump. But with that, next time on Mega Man Battle Network, we're done with class for the day. So let's go home and goof off. I'll see everyone next time for that.